How can science teachers get their level 1 and 2 students who typically make up the RTI population, many of whom aren't motivated or engaged, to make at least 1 year's growth in science? One answer is PENDA. Animal and plant cells is a critical 6th grade standard which includes comparing and contrasting the structure and function of major organelles of plants and animal cells, including cell walls, cell membranes, etc. This concept is the cornerstone of middle school life science and high school biological science. So how do we get students engaged in this standard so they want to learn it? PENDA uses proven brain research theories of learning to help students master critical concepts and standards via the PENDA's 4 pillars for learning. Pillar 1 is scaffolding. Most PENDA activities have around 10 screens and take around 10 minutes for students to complete. Typically 3 screens out of 10 provide scaffolding. This is screen 1 of 12. Here scaffolding is used to remind students of the key scientific terms needed to complete the activity, putting students in what Vygotsky termed the zone of proximal development. Students are encouraged to try again when they get answers wrong, but marks are awarded only when they answer correctly on their first attempt. Note there are 21 marks available in this activity, which are used to assess students' mastery of this standard. PENDA also strategically places yellow Remember pens throughout an activity that students can refer to if they don't understand. Once students begin to master the task, the Remember pen can be removed and the students are able to complete the task unassisted. The second pillar is the use of kinesthetic tactile experiences. In PENDA, students can reorder tasks, drag and drop down menus, choose scientific characteristics, or simply click on choices to answer questions, all in the same activity. Brain research and learning has shown that if students use various learning modalities, their learning is enhanced. Using this learning strategy, students are more likely to store science content in long-term memory for easy retrieval and application. They will also be more engaged and invested in their learning because this type of interaction pulls the learner into the educational experience. Kinesthetic experiences are also very facilitative for RTI students and Level 1 and 2 students. Pillar 3 is schemas. Schemas are used to encode memories and affect how we interpret things. In fact, we remember and recall concepts via schemas. In this activity, PENDA applies vocabulary schemas that facilitate student learning and reflects Piaget's theories of cognitive development. According to these theories, students develop from concrete thinkers to abstract thinkers by developing mental representations of the content they are learning. PENDA supports vocabulary acquisition by having students compare and contrast information, which assists students in being able to classify the concepts presented and relate it to prior knowledge. When students are later presented with the same science standard without the same schemas, their brain will still conjure the vocabulary needed because a connection has been made through the use of PENDA. Using schemas leads to long-term memory and increases test scores. Additionally, using vocabulary schemas are very helpful for RTI students and Level 1 and 2 students. Towards the end of PENDA activities, the learning is culminated and extended. We call this equilibration, pillar number 4. Here students are presented with new content on the standard that goes beyond the earlier schemas. This stretches the learner's skill set, which in turn drives cognitive development, as the brain seeks to restore balance by mastering the new challenge presented. Finally, PENDA is built on the most recent, research-based educational practices as evidenced by the use of avatars. According to Robert Sylvester, professor at University of Oregon, students learn through their emotions first and must do so for long-term memory to take place. Having students create an avatar and compete against other students engages the portion of the brain that facilitates authentic student engagement, long-term memory activation, and personal connection. In summary, PENDA has created a learning experience that's researched and evidence-based, which provides a powerful tool for teachers to get Level 1 and 2 students to engage with and master challenging standards like animal and plant cells. So lose the worksheets and use PENDA instead.